Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Looney, and today is a big one. I officially hit 50,000 in my portfolio, which is a major milestone for myself, and I'm sure others wish to achieve this goal as well, and I'm super grateful. But more than that, I want to break down exactly how I got here and what my plan is now to scale this to 100,000. First off, this didn't happen overnight. No meme stocks, no lottery plays, no chasing hype, just consistent execution. And before we break down the four things, I do want to do a quick shout out to the Discord. And this is where I give trade call outs. I do one-on-one coaching. There's a course on selling options. I do giveaways. You can check it out. All links to it will be in the description for the premium membership. It's $8 a month. So how did I get to this number? It really came down to these four things. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit more than that, but these are the main four things that helped me get to 50K. One is selling options, cash secured puts and covered calls, and mixing in some spreads. I do these all the time. Every week, every month, weekly options, monthly options. I'm constantly selling options. And this generated consistent cash flow and let me lower my cost basis on positions I wanted to own anyways with cash secured puts. I've been doing this for a while. If I go to my options and we go to realized profits, max, I'm at 4,000, and majority of this is from selling options. Now, number two is dollar cost averaging. I kept buying small amounts daily, and whether the market was red or green, I stayed consistent and focused on the long game. When I first started, I think I did a video on this. When I first started investing, I was kind of just going everywhere. I wasn't really focusing in on stocks that I truly wanted to own or long-term on. I was kind of just in the assumption that everything goes up over time. But the idea is the same. I'm still putting a little bit every day. If we look at Hood, this is a perfect example of a beginner account where if you want to start small, I have put $2 in and I'm at 200 already from just doing this from a few months, not even a year. I'm already up $71 or 54%. So thought I'd show this one because it's a very beginner friendly strategy. Dollar cost averaging. You could put $1 a day, $2 a day. It's really up to you. Now, number three is really difficult for most, and that's FOMO buying. And I wouldn't say I'm immune to this because I have chased the top before, but as I've grown, I've learned from that mistake. So even when things are ripping, I stuck to my levels and waited for my setups. Now, this is more recent. In the past, I have made this mistake before, but even now, crypto is running up. We can see today it's up 5%. And I am buying. I'm buying every day. I have Dogecoin on a $3 buy, but I'm not going all in. I'm not getting excited or I'm not getting ahead of myself. And I know that these positions can go up just as fast as they can go down. And that is part of the dollar cost average strategy. It gets that emotion out of it. But not FOMO buying is very difficult. It's a very emotional play, but it is very important. And that's why you need to be looking at where the stock is trading at and where VIX is trading at and where the overall market is. I wouldn't listen to all the news, the headlines, because we've heard them before. They have said that it's going to be the worst crash and it wasn't, or this is going to be the best bull run and it wasn't. So be very careful from where you get your information from and really just stick to a plan. Now, number four is another one that's an emotional issue, and that's not panic selling. So my account was doing very well in the beginning of this year or late of 2024. And we saw in early April when we had that Liberation Day, and even before that, the stock was plummeting. And I didn't panic sell. I just held what I had, and then I used whatever cash I had to dump back into the market. And that's why I'm at where I am today. And it's because I put all the cash available into positions. I didn't listen to all the media that was claiming that we're going to go into recession, which is still possible, but I was in the mindset that if we don't go into a recession, I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So again, when we had those random dips or macro headlines, I didn't freak out. I reminded myself that volatility is just part of the game, and that's why I use selling options and dollar cost averaging during those dips, and I still do that today. So in that, let's talk about what's next, because my next goal is 100,000, and I don't expect this to be easy or quick, and the market is really doing well right now, and it feels a little too overheated. So I am aware that we might see a pullback, and my 50K might not last forever. So my strategy moving forward is I am going to continue to sell options. I'm going to continue to sell cash secured puts and cover calls, but try to be more tactical about where and when, because everything seems to be bullish. And I'm still doing it, but just keeping cash on the side for when we become in a bear market. And then I could use selling options a little bit more strategically. And that goes with building a stronger cash position. You can see here, I'm building up cash. I have 6,000 or close to 7,000 in cash. And I have a couple cash secured puts in stocks that are very unlikely to get assigned. So I might get that cash back. We could look at Mara as a great example. With my options, I have almost 4,000 in cash collateral. And that's because of my cash secured puts and a few credit spreads. But when that cash is freed up, we might see a crash or a pullback, and I'll deploy that cash into a position that I think is appropriate. And that's just because this trend is not going to last forever. This bullish trend will not continue for years on years. I mean, it could, but in case it doesn't, I want to be ready to strike when we get real pullbacks or volatility spikes. And another thing is I am taking profits. I'm taking profits more consistent. I know that means that I'm missing out on possible gains, but I'd rather take profit than just holding my bag. So especially on crypto is what I've been taking profit on. And it's actually pretty hard because a lot of my crypto is still negative, pretty interesting from the beginning of this year. And a few of them aren't at a position that I do feel comfortable taking profit. And really all I'm taking profit is Bitcoin. And a lot of people say you should never sell your Bitcoin. And I don't know. I don't know if that's what you should or shouldn't do, but I have been taking profit. I'm up 60%. I think that's very good. If crypto goes or if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, yes, that would be insane. But I'd only miss out on a few hundred, especially with my position in Bitcoin right now. And yeah, I'm just having that money being sit in cash and then perhaps putting that cash into other positions like safer stocks or selling options. And I'm really just staying focused on conviction plays. I'm not spreading myself too thin, and I'm not over leveraged. I'm being very careful, but I am striking when needed. I'm not gonna lie that I like to go on the more risky side of things, or at least with selling options, I'm more risky, especially with the stocks I do. I know Riot and Mara are very risky and volatile. So my risk tolerance is pretty high when it comes to these things. And just overall, I'm being very opportunistic. So I'm making sure the opportunity is there and taking advantage of it. At this point, I know my system works. I've seen my portfolio go in the negative of almost 20% in earlier of this year or the start of Q2 of 2025. But it is just about scaling it, just staying patient and continuing to level up. And if you're trying to build your first 1,000, 10,000, or 50,000, just keep stacking, keep being consistent, and have a strategy. It's all about mindset and discipline. If you want real-time trades or help building your own plan, hop in the Discord. It's free to join, and the premium is there if you want the deeper support. Let's run it up to 100,000 together. Peace.